Words so sharp, they cut right through. Real talk for the soul's appeal. Prayers rise up the wounds they heal. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. Each step brings another fight. Breaking chains, we're seeking light. Voice of
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I didn't want to let that thing run all the way through because I was running a little bit behind, but I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I hope all is well. Happy Friday Eve to each and every one of you guys. Appreciate you all pulling up. We have 89 people right in the building right now, 93 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Everybody hit that like button for me, man. We got to get 300-400 likes today. Or as my Van say, my man Van would say, we need 2 million likes today. Let's go. What's up, Renee Suzanne? Good morning to you, sister. First person in the chat early in the morning. Shout out to Redefined Queen. Appreciate you pulling up this morning as well. What up, Soul Driver? And Mary Ann Cincinnati. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well with each and every one of you guys, man. As we get closer and closer to the weekend, I tell you, man, these weeks, they fly by. This is the last full week of April. You know, I think next week, we got a couple of days, in the week. And then before you know it, man, we'll be in May and we're getting closer and closer to the summer. It's crazy. I don't look forward to summer like that because, every day is the same for me. It doesn't matter, that much, the seasons, but I do appreciate the warm weather, as opportunity for us to get out there and play a little more golf and things of that nature. But when it gets too hot out, you can't really be out in that either. Let me fix this real quick. Give me a second, guys. Yeah. You can't even, you can't really enjoy the, good golf, when it's, when it's 100 degrees and 100% or 90% humidity out, man, it's nasty out. But I do look forward to it warming up, man. What's going on, Donald Lovejoy? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Zephyr? How you doing this morning? We upgraded you on the moderator side of things. So I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but we definitely did. What's up, Big Job Ford? Wisconsin in the house. What's happening? What up, American Girl? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Reason Mahmood? Another Wisconsin, Milwaukee in the building. What's going on with you, brother? Hope all is well with you. What up, Lori? How you doing this morning? Who else we got up in here? Let's see. What up, Lonnie King? It's been a little bit. I haven't seen you in the live streams. I don't think I've seen you in the live stream in a bit, but appreciate you pulling up this morning, man. I hope all is well with you out there. Oh yeah. What up, Kenneth? How you doing this morning? Yes, sir. Let's finish the week strong. Let's try to finish the week strong. Today's show, it's not going to be a long show today. I got to go hit the dentist. And I had to make some adjustments just to even get in there today because I need it. What up, Theophilus High? How you doing today? Hope all is well. What up, Scott Jung? How you doing this morning? Kevin Caldwell, how's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. Hope all is well. What up, Larry Montgomery? How you doing this morning, man? What up, Toy Mafia? How you doing this morning? PK Krillin in the building. What's going on with you? What up, Delinda? How you doing this morning? Hope all is well. What's up, Lena Harris? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Are you talking about Jake Lane? He did if I'm not mistaken, he tried to put a protest together or they had some form of, I guess, get together for Austin Metcalf. I don't think anybody showed up. I think he's more of an activist. I don't know if he's actually running for anything. I don't know. But what's up, Quincy? How you doing this morning? I actually appreciate people not pulling up and causing a ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Let's let this thing play out how it's supposed to. We let the other side go that route. Who else we got up in here? What's up, Ed Mar? How you doing this morning, brother? Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Ace Brigade? Cincinnati in the building. What up with you? Hope all is well. What's up, LJ Taylor? How you doing this morning, sister? Hope all is well with you. Happy Friday Eve to you. What up, JJ O'Hara? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, William Walker Grimsworth? I like that, man. William Walker Grimsworth, man. I like that. WW. Hope all is well with you, man. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Christy? How you doing this morning? What up, Christy? How you doing this morning? I hope all is well with you. Chi-Town in the building. Shout out to my guy, EDH, Alters, Coaster, New Mod. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love in the chat. New Mod. Shout out to him. Oh, yeah, we work fast, EDH. We work fast. But appreciate you pulling up and appreciate you wanting to be a part of the team, man. Thank you very much. What's up, Krista Knight? How you doing this morning? What's going on, Marla? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Leslie? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Jane? How you doing this morning? What's up, Marie? How you doing this morning? Amber Young, how's it going? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. What's up, Michelle? How you doing this morning? Sanford, Florida in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Oh, yeah. What's up, Bill Jekyll? How's it going this morning? I'm a hunter. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. 2A Chicano. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Finally caught alive. Outstanding, man. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, man. Y'all make sure y'all show 2A Chicano some love in the chat. First time, I believe, probably the first time pulling up for a live stream, man. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, True Texan? What's going on, Karen? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. My guy, Kenny Cooper in the building. What's going on with you, man? I hope you're being safe out there. Riding from Mississippi, headed to Savannah, Georgia. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Be safe out there on the road, brother. What's up, Kathy Lee? How you doing this morning? Kahil. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Peace to you as well, my brother. What's up, Tim Martin? How you doing this morning? Denver in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. What's going on, Francis? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We're going to get the show kicked off. We're going to get things kicked off here in a second. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But if you could, we have 139 people in the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me. We should definitely have well over 100 likes right now. I wish if my blues, if y'all could just make sure that we stay up to date there on the likes. Let's make sure we're hitting making sure that like button get hit. Right now we're at 96 likes, man. We should be well over 100 at this point, man. Hitting the like button is free. Hit that like button for me, man. Share the stream if you can do so. Please share the stream. It's all right, Quincy. It's all right. You here today. That's all that matters. What's up, Angela? How you doing this morning? Thank you very much. What's up, RJ Hudson? South Cac in the building. Tammy Wilkerson, how you doing this morning? Or Wilkstrom, sorry about that. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Laura Faulkner, appreciate you pulling up this morning. She says she's new to the stream as well. Y'all make sure y'all show Laureen Faulkner some love in the chat. New to the stream. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you very much. What up, Chief G-Rap? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Buddha? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up as well. All right, we got SFRGR32. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Kenny says the dentist is a great experience, says no one. Man, I've had these braces in my mouth now for, it's been almost a year. And man, they be tearing me up, man. They tearing me up right now. Got my mouth all bruised up. It's crazy. That's why, and then after I come back from the dentist, I sound a little different because they go in there and do what they do and they tinker. And before you know it, man, to myself, I'm sounding weird. And I know B, she gets on me because she's like, oh, she's real sensitive to noise. And she let me know, like, hey, you sounded a little off today. Yeah. Yeah, that happens sometimes. What's up, Goose? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Said this would be another level if it was live, LIVE, in court, like Depp versus Heard case. I'm guessing he's talking about the Metcalf Anthony case. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be live or not. I would assume that it may be live. If anything, it'll probably be on court TV. I mean, it's going to be probably a pretty high profile case if it actually gets to that point. I don't know if it's going to get to that point. I think the young man is going to take the plea. They're going to offer him a sweet deal. They're going to drop it from first degree to second degree. And I think they're going to offer him a sweet deal. He's 17. I would assume that he'll be 18 here in the near future because he was getting ready to graduate. So he'll probably be 18 in the near future within the next couple of months. I mean, you want to get a date, and you want to get a date that you would seem reasonable. I would assume that he's probably going to get 20, 25 years with the possibility for parole. That's just my assumption. That's my assumption on the plea deal. Now, if he takes it to trial, that's a completely different situation. What's up, James Crow? How you doing this morning? We got Rapture in the building out of Georgia. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, and we're going to get the show started, man. Let's get things kicked off, man. Again, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, super chats will stop the show. Super likes will stop the show. Anybody that joins the ARP family, that will stop the show. They will be acknowledged. Anybody that gifts an ARP family membership, that will stop the show, and those will be acknowledged. And we're going to get things going, man. Marlon says, once those braces come off, you'll be so happy. Yeah. I don't think I have much longer to go. I probably got another maybe 6 months to go or so, I guess, somewhere in that range. But they definitely tear you up. They definitely tear you up. What's going on, Kenneth? He says he'll take the plea. We'll pull that up. He'll take the plea. They will look at it as premeditated. Yeah, any good lawyer is going to tell you, like, bro, I don't think we got a case to fight this thing as a self-defense. What we need to do is we got to work on getting you the best deal that we can possibly get you. So therefore, you can get a date that is somewhat reasonable. Somewhat reasonable. And when I say somewhat reasonable, I'm saying 20, 25, maybe 30 years with an opportunity for parole. You go in there, you keep your nose clean, and you may be able to get out of there in 10 or 15 years. If you're a good lawyer, any good lawyer will tell you, like, hey, bro, this is what we're going to be able to do, and this is what we're fighting for. This is what we're striving for. That's just my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a dude talking this on the internet, man. What do I know? But let's get the show kicked off, man. Hope all is well with you guys, man. Let's get things popping.
Today, Trump started talking about how he's going to force us to start paying back our student loans by garnishing our wages. And a lot of conservatives are really happy about that. They're saying, oh, thank God, all these freeloaders are going to pay back the money that they borrowed. Well, let me tell you something. I didn't borrow a goddamn dime. I was 17 years old. My mother forced me to take out that loan, and if I didn't, she was going to throw me out and make me homeless. So I'm not alone in this. I know that many, many children were put in the same situation, and the solution's simple. We should not have our wages garnished. The boomers should have their goddamn retirement accounts and Social Security checks garnished for forcing college onto us, forcing us to take unsustainable loans. It's just screwed up. Student loan forgiveness is the only ethical choice, and the boomers aren't going to give it to us. So we need to go after their money.
Now, I got a question for you guys in the chat, man. What he said, did that make sense? Seriously? So you got these liberals out here, who are extremely mad. They're extremely mad because the Trump administration decided to overhaul the student loan system. And they're not playing around anymore. A lot of people don't really understand is that the government has guaranteed billions upon billions of dollars in student debt. They've guaranteed it. They're on the hook. The government is. Now, in my opinion, I am a big believer. I love the Pell Grant. I think the Pell Grant is great. I also think people should be, pushed into the 2-year schools or trade school. And then I think the government should get out of the student loan business. Anytime the government gets involved in things and they start, either supplementing or guarantee the people who get the money, they raise the prices. They raise the price because they know the government is going to guarantee it. And then, the previous president, he didn't help out either, because in the early 2000s, when he was a senator, he was a part of the group that made it to where you cannot write these daggone student loans off on a bankruptcy. He was a part of that group that sent that bill, and it passed. Shout out to Just a Reflection for the $10 super chat. MAGA versus everybody. What up, though? Oh, sound like we got a Detroiter in the house. Appreciate you pulling up, man. And appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support, for sure. But they're not playing around, man. And to be honest with you, I don't think they should. This whole thing that got Biden in office, which was a huge promise that he made to the American people, and really he made that promise to, Gen Xers and millennials that, hey, we're going to wipe the debt clean. I don't think it was a good idea. I didn't think it was a good idea then. I still don't think it's a good idea. I personally would not have had a problem with them saying, you know what, the interest from those loans, we're going to wipe the interest rates clean. We're going to give everybody a super low interest rate, and we need y'all to pay back the daggone principal of these loans, because you got a lot of people that's been in forbearance, and I would assume, this is just an assumption, that a lot of people are paying probably 50% of what they have in student loans is interest right now. You know what I'm saying? It's interest. Shout out to my guy, Ron Henderson. Long time no see. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. I haven't seen or heard from you in a minute. Hope all is well with you and the family down there. Send my regards to the wife. He says, yes, that was true, my brother. I don't want to pay for nobody else's loans but mine. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I feel like you take the loan out, you should be responsible to paying it. Now, I had they come out and said, hey, the interest rates, the interest that has, that you've accrued, we're going to wipe that, but you still got to pay back the principal. I necessarily wouldn't have a problem with that. But just to wipe the debt completely clean, I got a problem with that. And the thing is that these are also the same people that are still buying new cars, that are still buying houses. I know people that have bought multiple cars and bought multiple houses, and they got their student loans on deferment. I know some people like that, and I'm sure you guys do as well. Now, the other thing that they could do is, hey, you get a tax return. We're going to take that money. We're going to put it towards your student loans. Wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that either. It was money that was gone anyway. But the White House, they recently announced a major shakeup to the $1.6 trillion federal student loan system. And let me tell you, these leftoids, these loony people on the left are absolutely losing their minds. They're scrapping the automatic loan forgiveness, under plans like Pay or the ICR. Those are the ones where you could get, your debt wiped after 20 or 25 years. And Trump's team, they're even looking to make changes, to the payments, or looking to make these changes permanent. And why? The reason why is because courts have questioned whether that forgiveness was even legal in the first daggone place. And let's not forget, Trump's also pushing to make programs like public service loan forgiveness harder to access, which, has liberals screaming that he's attacking education. But let's be real. The same liberals who are, racking up six figures in debt for degrees that don't pay off. And now they want the boomers. They want people, the other half of the country that didn't go to college. Think about this, man. Everybody doesn't go to college, and everybody doesn't have student loans. They want the other half the other half of the people and the boomers to pay their debt. I got a super chat I think I missed. Shout out to I'm a Hunter with the $10 super chat. He says, do these people not understand how good this is? Not only will it help erase this debt off of their shoulders, it will also help toward both future students as well as our country's debt. Absolutely. But what you got to understand, I'm a Hunter, is that these people are selfish as heck. These are some selfish, evil, wicked people, man. These are some selfish, these are also the same people that feel like they should get paid even though they don't go to work. There's a lot of people out there that did not go to college. There's a lot of people out there that did not go to college. So I'm all for, making it a little tougher. What's up, Vanessa Hall? How you doing this morning, sister? I joined the military as well, Quincy. I'm assuming you said you went to Iraq. I'm assuming that you said you joined the military. I did the same thing. And joining the military afforded me, an opportunity to go to college. Now I did have to take on some loans, but because when I went to college, it was before the post 9/11 GI Bill. The post 9/11 GI Bill is great. Anybody that joins the military, post 9/11 GI Bill, your college is paid for. I went in, Air Force. Okay, that's what's up, man. Thank you for your service. I went in before the post 9/11, or not went in before, but I started school before the post 9/11. When post 9/11 came about, I was about done with college. And if any of you guys know about the GI Bill, prior to the post 9/11 GI Bill, it really didn't pay for all of college. And you still had to take care of yourself. Now, if you join the military, you do your 4 years, you get your post 9/11 GI Bill, not only does it pay for college, but it also gives you a little bit of a stipend, you know what I'm saying? So you can take care of yourself while you're going to school. Because everybody knows that you're probably going to need to work a part-time job, but it's very difficult to work a full-time job and go to school full-time. And when you're on the GI Bill, it requires for you to go to school full-time, and you really need to be done in 36 months because that's how long the benefit lasts. It's a 3-year benefit. So fortunately for me, I did go to college. I was able to graduate in 3 years, but I went to summer school and I did all these things that I needed to do to get done, and it didn't 100% pay for everything. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem, doing what needs to be done. But, when you think about guys, like the clip that I just showed, he's out here blaming his mom, for his student loan debt. He's saying that the boomers need to pay for it. He's saying that his mom, she forced him into it, or he'd be homeless, and he thinks that boomers should have their Social Security garnished to pay off his debt instead of him. This is ridiculous, man. Shout out to I Am Hunter with the $10 super chat. Give me a second here. He says, I'm currently in trade school and have a small student debt, but I start a new job in May. Once I do, part of my paycheck will go towards my debt. Also, facts on Pell Grant, it came in the clutch for me. Yeah, I think the Pell Grant is great. And I'm also one of those kind of people that I don't think that kids right out of high school should go straight to a 4-year institution. I don't think so. Most of the 2-year programs are either free or extremely affordable. So you can knock out freshman and sophomore year for next to nothing, or it's extremely affordable. So I don't necessarily have a problem with them, really and truly. I say the government should get out of the business of student loan debt, period. No student loan. They should get out of the business of student loans. That's just my opinion. I think we should keep the Pell Grant. I think the Pell Grant is great. And we should make it mandatory. Instead of guaranteeing loans, how about we say, hey, if you want to go to college, you got to go do those 2 years in your local community college. And then you can transfer. And if you want to go the other route and go to one of these big 4-year schools, either get a private loan that's not subsidized by the government, or you pay full price. And what will happen is that it will force the colleges to bring the price of college down. Because if people stop going because they can't afford it, it's going to force them to bring the prices down. But right now, as long as the government subsidizes these loans and people can just go, you don't give the incentive. There's no incentive for the colleges to bring the daggone prices down. And what we do know is that a college degree isn't even worth what it used to be anymore. It's not worth. People got $200,000 degrees that aren't worth anything. What's going on, Tyrone Rowe? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. You got this dude here with total victim mentality. And speaking of victim mentality, here's another leftist losing it over having to pay their debt, not someone else's, but their debt. How are you mad that you got to pay your own debt? I just don't understand these people.
Drop the student loan bomb. Fuck. The federal government just announced that it's coming for your loans, and collections begin May 5th for student loan debt. If you're in default, they can garnish your wages, they can take your tax return, and they can even take like your benefits like Social Security. And if you still can't pay it and you default, they're going to send you to collections. There are about 5.3 million people in the United States right now in default. This is going to hurt the people that are already struggling the most. They are really just trying to absolutely cripple as many people as fucking possible at this point. It's pretty clear they want us completely broke. They don't give a fuck about our health. They don't really give a shit if we die. Yeah, they're just gonna cut fucking everything. This really just paves the path for so much more bullshit. I just realized that's about the same amount of people that have been at the protests. Interesting. Well, see you guys May 1st. That's the next one.
I don't understand it. How are you upset that you are being forced to pay your own debt? I don't understand it. I really don't, man. I really don't. I would say it's unbelievable if you didn't see it, but you guys got a chance to see it for yourself right there. These are some irresponsible people, man. And the reality of it is this, man. We got a lot of irresponsible people out there. Young and old. I said it yesterday. Americans have a spending problem. We have a financial literacy problem. You got people that make over six figures that are still check to check. We have people that earn over six figures and they're living check to check. And some of the worst culprits out there are some of these doctors and lawyers. They make a lot of money, but they still live check to check because they have spending problems. A lot of these people. I mean, this is crazy. But these people are mad. But some would say that she has a point. Why do colleges even give out these massive loans to people that they know are not going to be able to pay it back? You know what their major is. They majored in daggone, psychology or sociology. You knew they didn't have a chance at making no bread to pay that loan back. Y'all knew it. Students are getting loans for what would be the cost, of a house. Hundreds of thousands of dollars with literally no ability to pay, no collateral, nothing. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's a scam, plain and simple. It's really a way to basically enslave the population. It says in the word, it says the debtor will be slave to the lender, or the borrower will be slave to the lender. I mean, it's crazy. And the thing is that you have these people that will go to these super expensive liberal arts schools, $30,000, $40,000 a year to be a teacher. And no disrespect to anyone that is a teacher, but going into it, it doesn't pay that great. So if you want to be a teacher, you should be looking for the cheapest route, the most affordable route in order to achieve your goal, which means going the 2-year college route first, and then transferring to the most affordable university that you can go to. But people don't do that. People will go pay $50,000 a year to become, a teacher or to become a social worker. I know someone who sent their kid to Hampton. And if any of you guys know anything about Hampton University, it is super expensive. The major is sociology. The individual wants to be a social worker. Social workers don't make that much money, but you're about to take on $200,000 in debt for a job that's going to max out at maybe 70 grand. And that's after you've been doing this for 20 years. Like, bro, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I mean, this situation, man, it is a scam, plain and simple. And it's been going on for years. Colleges have jacked up tuition because they know the government will keep handing out these daggone loans. And the students are the ones left holding the bag. It's ridiculous. The National Taxpayers Union even estimates that Biden's forgiveness plan, cost every taxpayer at least $2,500. That's our money bailing out kids who partied their way through college and got degrees in underwater basket weaving or gender studies or, oh my gosh, I got to find the video. I got to find this video. And I do not like to do this. I don't like to do this. I normally like to make sure that I'm 100% prepared. But, in having this conversation, it's appropriate. Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can find this video. Let me see if I can pull it up on X. It might be on X. If not, I know it's for sure on TikTok. And let me see if I can pull it up. Please let me find this real fast. Oh, here we go. I found it real quick. Goodness. Now look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a second. Let me pull this up for you guys. Let me share this. Look at this. This is ridiculous right here. These are the people. Now, any of you guys know anything about New York University? NYU is expensive. NYU is expensive.
My name is Jacob, and my concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle.
Did you hear that? Performance of self. Performance of self. What kind of job are you getting with a degree in performance of self? What is this stuff?
Concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I studied the sociology of environmental communication.
Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I
Sustainable business.
Hi, my name is
Or negotiated paradox.
Dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
studies.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
What the heck is art as a social mechanism? I don't even know what that means.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
My name is Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
Hi.
Equilibrium in a negotiated paradox. Oh my goodness.
My name is Sophie Lopez, and my concentration is titled Queering and Decolonizing Theater Practice. Hi, my name is Maya, and my concentration is my concentration is titled Queering and Decolonizing Theater.
Queering and decolonizing theater practice. Queering and decolonizing theater practice. Ladies and gentlemen, these are people racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in degrees, man. Queering and decolonizing. What in the world, man?
theater practice. Hi, my name is Maya, and my concentration is journalism, post-colonial studies, and psychoanalysis.
Hi, I'm Eloise. I'm graduating with a concentration in philosophy of science and theater.
My name is Amina, and my concentration is titled The Criminal Mind, which is surrounded on criminology and applied psychology.
Hi, my name is Juliana. My concentration is international business and fashion through sustainable development. Yay!
Yeah. This is where they want to send your taxpayers dollars. This is what they want to spend your taxpayer dollars on. Shout out to Amy Horde for the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you very much, sister. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Yeah. 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 This is crazy, man. That's what I'm talking about right there. Y'all heard it for yourself. Y'all heard it for yourself. These are the people asking the government and taxpayers like you and I to repay their loan because they made bad choices. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. We got to end the scam, man. It has to stop. It has to stop. It has to stop. Shout out to Ron Henderson with the $1.99 super chat. He says, these people need to pay for this stupidity. You're absolutely right, sir. This is ridiculous. I mean, come on, man. These are the same people that 5 years from now will be complaining because these are new graduates. I guess they graduated maybe last year or something along those lines. These are the same people that will be complaining in 5 years that they can't find a job. Now, I am all for these STEM folks, anybody that wants to be in healthcare, any job that there is a shortage of. I don't necessarily have a problem with the government subsidizing a loan or grant or something along those lines for people to obtain the skills that are in demand, not only today, but in the future. I don't have a problem with that. We need more doctors. We need more nurses. We need more engineers. I don't have a problem with that. We need good teachers. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with us subsidizing teachers. So they graduate. We know they're not going to make a lot of money, but yeah, I don't have a problem with us taking care of the people that want to be educators and, funneling them through a path where they can obtain the proper education, the proper degrees, the proper credentials to get in there and teach without a massive amount of student loan debt. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that, but getting a student loan for querying and what was that? What? Like, seriously? Seriously? This is ridiculous, man. No way. Here's the kicker. The collateral on these loans, it isn't an asset. It's your future earnings. That's it. The collateral on these loans, it's not an asset. It's not an asset. It's your future earnings. Shout out to Conservative Minds with the $10 super chat. He says, I've never seen so many college. I hate when that happens. I've never seen so many college kids who act like little children. It's sad to think what kind of adults they're going to end up being. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you're. Oh man. It's crazy. Quincy says, no, Wise, I got a big problem with the teachers. I understand. And I think I don't have a problem with the teachers. I have more of a problem with the teacher unions than I have with the actual teachers. Because I think that good teachers should be rewarded. Bad teachers should be ousted. But the problem is that the teachers union don't allow you to get rid of people that shouldn't be there. The teachers union is very strong. And boy, you got to do some things in order to get booted out to get fired. Shout out to Ron Henderson with the $4.99 super chat. Says they need to protest all these overpriced colleges for these worthless degrees. Yes, we just need to stop giving loans to these degrees for these degrees. Like a federal student loan should only be given, one, for state schools. Number one, state schools. After you have done the 2 year degree at the local community college, and it should be state school, and you should be forced to go to the school in your state. We're not paying for your out-of-state tuition. There should be some ramifications around it, or some restrictions around it. Not ramifications, but restrictions. There should be some restrictions around it. And I don't have a problem with the government saying, hey, if you don't pay, we can garnish your wages. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, because to an extent, that's what happened with anything else. You can garnish your wages, your Social Security, even your tax refund. I don't have a problem with it. But I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for your loan. I don't want to do that. There is some ways to solve this. The problem is that if you start tossing out the ways to solve it, the left will say it's racist, because what about all, the black and brown kids that don't have parents that can afford to send them to college? They'll say it's racist. You all already know this. But if you put the restrictions out there and say, hey, man, if you can't afford to pay college for yourself, and if you want a loan, we're only giving loans to incoming juniors at state school for the state that you are at, and you have to go to the 2-year college. You have to. And the Pell Grant, more times than not, Pell Grant will pay for the local community college those first 2 years. And if it doesn't pay for all of it, it will pay for a large portion of it. And the crazy thing is that y'all know that you can't just walk away, from student debt or a student loan in bankruptcy. Y'all already know this. This situation that a lot of people are in, it is a lifelong trap. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to die with this debt, and they're going to pass this debt down to their children or leave that debt for their spouse. And the colleges don't care, because they already got their money. They already got the bag. They've already charged you probably 4 times what the degree is actually worth. But at the end of the day, I'm one of those kind of people to say, make better choices. I said the same thing to my kid, going when he was, graduating high school. I'm like, bro, if you want to go to college, the only college that I'm even allowing you to go to is the local community college. That's it. Let's see what you do with that. But I'm telling these people, make better choices. I'm telling the parents, make better choices. Stop expecting a bailout, man. This is life. This is life. I know all of you guys in the chat, y'all know it. If you take out a loan, you got to pay it back. It's that simple. Don't expect taxpayers to bail you out to pay your bills, which is exactly what the Trump administration is saying. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it at all. Not one.
Have almost $1.7 trillion in student debt, and none of the collections have been made since March of 2020. So it's time to have people be accountable again for their debts, but we're not trying to make it difficult for anyone. So there are many options that those who have outstanding loans can go to. They should go to studentaid.gov to find out. We have longer hours for them to call to find out if they have other options. We have actually an AI Aiden that can answer questions for them. So we're trying to put lots of plans in place so that people who do have loans outstanding can bring themselves up to date. We have over 5 million people that are in default. And that means their credit scores are affected. If they want to buy a home or buy a car, it's very difficult for them. So we'd like to help them get out of default. But at the same time, this is something they owe. This is money they borrowed to go to school. And other taxpayers shouldn't have to pay this burden. I think that's very clear.
Hey, Mrs. McMahon, she is absolutely right. These daggone colleges have been scamming students for years, pushing worthless degrees while raking in loads of federal cash, loads of it. The Department of Education's budget ballooned from $104 billion to $268 billion since 2019. Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in for a second. The budget ballooned from $104 billion to $268 billion dating back to 2019. Yet they've let the universities off the hook for saddling these daggone students with debt. Because the reality of it is, it's not all graduates. It doesn't matter if you graduate or not. The debt is still there. It's not a situation where, hey, if you don't graduate, you get to wipe the debt clean. Nah, you go 1-2 years, take that debt on, and you don't finish, you still got to pay it. Shout out to I'm a Hunter with the with the $10 super chat. He says nearly 40% of people who go to college don't graduate. Apart from those who have their parents force them to go to college, these kids need to do some real research before making this important choice. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And the reality of it is this. Majority of people that go to a 4-year college don't graduate in 4 years. Most of them take 5 years, and I think the average is almost 6. So people are going to college for 6 years to obtain a degree that you should be able to get in 4 years. So think about that. If you're staying on campus, that means that you're paying dorm and food, because you're eating at the cafeteria for 6 years for a degree that you should have went in there and handled business and got out in 4. And in some cases, you could be done in 3 if you take the summer school classes. But a lot of these folks, man, they're not going there. It's just kind of the next step, and they go there and they party. They waste money. They don't take it seriously for the first year, sometimes 2. And then, or they change majors multiple times. And that pushes you back because the average 18-year-old, they really don't know what they want to do with their life. When I was 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. That's a lot of the reason why I joined the military. Because I'm like, man, I don't really know what I want to do. So I joined the military. It gave me some time to kind of figure this thing out. And in the meantime, I was able to make some money. I was able to travel. I'm serving the nation, and not all of it, was great, but not all of it sucked. And that's the thing. I think you got a lot of these kids, they are looking for, peaches and rainbows and thinking that everything is supposed to be good every day. Even when you get a good job and you work for a good company, there's going to be some days that just suck. That's life. Every day isn't going to be great. People come out here and say, if I could just find my dream job and find my passion. If you're passionate about it and you're not making money, when you start making money for it, it no longer is passionate. You're no longer passionate about this. It's a job. That's why people don't understand, like even the guys that play professional sports. They would play it for free back in the day. They play football for free for hours in the backyard, play basketball for free. Going to the court, running up and down the court for free. Soon as it becomes a job, it is what it is, a job. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but you still got to go to work. You still got to be held accountable. People don't understand that. I don't care what your passion is. People can talk all of that stuff all they want. They can talk all that stuff all they want. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And the reality of it is money doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. Money isn't the end all be all. You can make all the money, and there's a bunch of people that's super rich and depressed as all get out. Now, I'm sure there's some of you guys out there that are like, man, I take the rich and be depressed than depressed and broke. I understand. But this situation here, I mean, it's gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand. Because when you look at it and you look at, Biden's, $188 million, forgiveness scam, and basically all that did is shift the daggone burden over to the taxpayers. And now over 5 million borrowers risk default because DC prioritized bailouts over accountability. If colleges won't guarantee a return on investment on degree, why should the taxpayers foot the bill? And the reality of it is a college can't guarantee a return on investment on the degree. They can't, because ultimately your career, one, it's your choice, but 2, It's all about how hard you work. You know, are you a punctual individual? You know, do you know how to network? There's a lot of factors that play into your career and how far you're going to go up and how much money you're going to make. But it is time to end the grift. It's past time to end it, to be honest with you. But we also got to do something about these colleges getting so expensive. My thing is when you got colleges like Harvard sitting with daggone, $50 billion, in endowments, and you got the people looking to the federal government for a bailout, but no one actually said, hey, these colleges have been overpaying. We need to hit them in the head. Make them pay back some of this stuff. Make them pay this. Shout out to Allie Summers with the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you very much, sister. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But we know that tuition cost, it has doubled and in some cases tripled dating back to the 1980s. It has doubled and in some cases tripled dating back to the 1980s. College is more expensive and doesn't mean as much as it did back in the day. And because the reality of it is, dude, a bachelor's degree is almost like a daggone high school diploma. There's a bunch of people out there. And then when folks said, hey, I can't compete with the bachelor's, they went and got the master's, and they realized like everybody's got a master's. That was the one thing that I wouldn't do. My grandma used to say all the time, you need to go back and get your master's. I'm like, for what? It's not going to put any more money in my pocket. It's not going to help me. I was like, why am I going to waste the time to go and do that when I don't see it as a benefit? I just don't. But it sounds good because a lot of people with master's degrees and PhDs, they got to let you know, hey, I got a master's degree. It might be a master's in nothing, but they got one. And what we do know is that the quality of education has not got better. It hasn't. You're paying more, but the quality of the education hasn't gotten better. And if you're paying for your kid to go to one of these colleges, you're actually paying for your kid to be indoctrinated more times than not. The way you raised them up, you're going to send them out there. They're going to come back. You're like, who in the heck is this? I didn't raise this. These daggone universities are playing, games of one-upsmanship. One college raises their rates, the other one raises it. They're spending millions on luxury dorms and state-of-the-art gyms and diversity offices that do nothing but push agendas, all while jacking up tuition to cover it all. The Heritage Foundation found out that from 2010 to 2018, non-instructional spending, like on administrations and student services, grew faster than actual teaching cost. It almost doubled. That's ridiculous. Shout out to Ron Henderson with the $1.99 super chat. He says, is that Asters of Disaster, or are you trying to say Masters of Disaster? I'm gonna go ahead and say they're masters of disasters. That's what I'm gonna say. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'll definitely read it right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they spent more money, on student services and administrative costs, than they have spent on actual teaching costs. It's ridiculous. And the students, a lot of these people are stuck in $100,000 debt, $200,000, $250,000 in debt for a 4-year degree. Colleges, a lot of the college, man, they're sitting pretty. I got you, Ron. I thought that's what you meant. Sometimes it happens. Masters of disasters. Thank you very much. But colleges are sitting pretty because they know that the federal government will keep handing out loans like it's daggone candy. And who's paying the bill? Who do these people want to pay the daggone tab? It's taxpayers. And when these graduates or people that just went to college attendees, they can't pay it or they can't pay it back. I mean, it's a vicious cycle. College raises prices, students borrow more, and then liberals demand forgiveness, leaving the rest of us to clean up the daggone mess. It's flat out ridiculous. I tell most of the people that I talk to, when they talk to me about or ask me about, a kid going to college, I'm like, yo, if you want to send your kid to college, send them to the local 2-year community college. Save yourself some money. Seriously, save yourself some money. I know it's a brag. I know a lot of people, they want to brag and say their kid goes to this college and this college because, we as parents, we like to flex on our children. We do. But you're setting yourself up for failure. I know people who parents paid for college degrees, paid big money for them to go to college, stay on campus. They got the full college experience, only for them to get out of college and get a job that didn't require the daggone degree. I know people that went to college, got a degree, and then ended up going to trade school because they couldn't find a job in the degree that they chose. And they're doing well in the trades. But it's like, why not go that route in the first place? And what we do know is, and we talked about this maybe a week ago, the trade industry is short right now. There is a shortage of skilled tradesmen. There is a need for electricians. There's a need for HVAC techs. There's a need for welders, underwater welders. I don't know if you guys do it now. Underwater welder, it's a fairly dangerous job. It is. They use a lot of safety precautions, things of that nature, but it's a fairly dangerous job. But did y'all guys know that underwater welders, the people who work on the bridges, the people who work at the oil rigs, underwater, keeping those things up, those dudes make $30,000 a month. Now, hey, it's a dangerous job. It is. It's a fairly dangerous job, but those dudes make $30,000 a month for welding, underwater welding. That's a lot of money, man. That is a lot of money. But anyway, oh man, what's next for these borrowers, man? What's next for these people? Anyone who never defaulted basically keeps paying under the new streamlined income driven plan. Payments capped at 5 to 10% of discretionary income. Interest cancellation after 10 years, of on-time checks if you're in public service. And defaulters, they make 6 good faith payments to rehabilitate their account, and they're right back in things. And if they do that, the garnishments will stop. The credit ding, it will be erased, and you can ignore the letters. Yeah, Treasury, they may skim your 2024 tax refund, slice up to 15% off your paycheck. And yes, they may yank a chunk of your Social Security disability if you think you can hide until retirement. And that may be harsh, but the reality of it is that pay your debt. Some people say it's harsh. Others may say, man, this isn't fair. But hey, if you took the loan out, it's your debt, you pay it. But if you think that's unfair, I mean, you got to think that it's unfair, if the plumbers or electricians or the people, who went to trade school, are paying your bill, paying for your sociology major. I mean, it's ridiculous. The real cure here isn't mass forgiveness. That's not the cure. Shout out to Dora Cook with the $9.99 super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. But the real cure here isn't mass forgiveness. It's front-end discipline. Because the reality of it is this. Let's say they did go in and they, excuse me for a second. Let's say they did go in and wipe out all the debt, right? Let's say they did that. But if they don't change anything to how they go about giving these loans out, we'd be right back in this situation again in 20 to 30 years with more people, a different group of people, sitting on massive amounts of debt, looking for another handout because they're like, hey, y'all did it for them. Y'all need to do it for us. So again, I say the real cure, isn't mass forgiveness. It isn't. It's getting in front of this. It's front end discipline. Reintroduce robust trade programs in high school. We need to get some real career counselors out there that understand how to help these people get into these apprenticeship programs right after high school. Funnel more children or more of these kids into the 2-year community colleges for all of your general, education requirements. And you guys know that's a tenth, it's at a tenth of the cost. And then let the private lenders, not Washington, decide your credit risk for the next 2 years of your degree. And when a bank refuses to back $120,000 in underwater basket weaving degrees, hey, maybe the universities will say, hey, we got to bring these prices down because we don't have enough people enrolled. People can't afford to enroll in these schools. Force the universities to drop these daggone prices. And until then, we're just going to be treating symptoms. But today's move, resuming collections, it says the subsidy era is coming to an end. And I think it needs to come to an end. Now, you'll have a lot of people out there, especially people on the left, say, hey, man, the kids, they need college. They got to go. They need it. I don't think they do. You have more and more university or more and more companies out there looking to hire people that have skill sets. They're looking to hire people that have strong work ethics because Lord knows that's lost in today's age. You know how many people can't get to work on time or don't have a strong work ethic out there? When I was in the military, they used to tell us all the time, man, you don't got to be the smartest. You don't have to be the brightest. You don't even have to work the hardest. But you better show up to work on time. All of my folks that served in the military, y'all know what I'm talking about. You better show up on time. And when I say on time, that means you're 15 minutes early. You got a lot of people that can't even get to work on time. Screw the work hard part. They just can't get to work on time. That's the one beautiful thing about the military. There's no such thing as a call out. If you're sick, you better get your butt up. You better get to muster in the morning. Show them that you're sick, and then they'll send you the sick call. There ain't no calling, oh, chief, I'm sick. Oh, first class, hey, I'm sick. Oh, Gunny, I'm sick. There ain't none of that. Nah, get your butt up in here. Come to muster. You better be in the daggone hospital. ER-like. They better have taken your butt to the hospital in order for you not to show up to work. Shout out to I'm a Hunter for the $10 super chat. He says, I seen an article where Trump made a X order to incorporate AI training in public schools, which can make major impact and advance in tech industry in the future. Oh, executive order. Awesome. That's good. Yo, we need to start training our people for the jobs of the future. The jobs that are in demand and the jobs that are in the future. We need to look for the best and brightest for the jobs that are in demand, and we need to get those, we need to get those people in the jobs that are in high demand, that are in need. That's just a fact. It makes complete sense. But then again, anything over the left, I'm convinced that they don't have any common sense over there. It doesn't take rocket scientists. It's not a rocket science to figure out how to solve this problem. But you guys know what I'm talking about. But to those folks, who are losing their minds over this right now, I just want to say, hey, debt is not oppression. It's your agreement. You signed it. Taxpayers fronted the cash. Now the bill is due. And if the plan is impossible, call your servicer. Pick the low payment track. Hey, go teach in a Title I district. Go enlist in the United States military. There are ways out that don't involve Instagram Sobfest. Seriously. There are ways. You do not have to go to Instagram and cry because that's not going to solve your problem. And to the universities, hey, the gravy days of infinite federally insured tuition hikes, It's over with, man. It's got to come to an end. Innovate or shrink. Simple as that. And to everyone else, tightening belts while, pundits rage. Remember, the screeching you hear is what accountability sounds like when it finally returns after 4 long years. We're going to keep it moving to the next story, man. We're going to keep it moving to the next story, but this student loan thing, I'm so tired of hearing about it, man. I'm so tired of hearing about it. And I'm so tired of hearing about, and somebody had said something in the comment section. I don't know if it was in the chat or in the comment section the other day. And they were saying that a lot of the schools pushed college. And you're absolutely right. Parents and schools pushed college on a lot of people. Ignored the trades. Ignored some people out there, like, man, I'm not sending my kid to the military. I'm not doing that. I'm not sending my kid to the military. So you're willing to allow your kid to go into $150,000 in debt? You go in the military, even if it was the old GI Bill, they pay for a good chunk of it. But let's keep it moving. If you haven't hit that like button for me already, looks like we're sitting at about 290 likes this morning. Please make sure you hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. I do appreciate you guys pulling up, and I appreciate you guys being active in the chat this morning. Appreciate that. But let's keep it moving, man. Democrats are, they're still insane, and I think that's going to be a running thing for this year and for here on out. That Democrats are going insane again. I think that is a running theme, and this time they're losing it over Trump's immigration crackdown. They're losing it over this immigration crackdown. You got the crazy representative out of Massachusetts, Ayanna Pressley. This is one of the squad's loudest voices. If you guys recall, this is the lady that said, "What up, T.A. Caskey? I'm talking about your girl right now." I know you voted for her. What's going on, T.A.? How you doing today, brother? Hope you're doing well. But you got your girl, Ayanna Pressley. We know that she is one of these squad's loudest voices, but she's also the lady that came out there that said, "Hey, I am willing to do business with anybody that is serious about censoring the American people." That lady said it. She said it out of her mouth. These people aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Oh, come on now, TA. Come on, let's be respectful. Let's be respectful. Come on now, TA. Let's be respectful. But she's out here claiming that Trump just might start jailing people just for practicing diversity. I'm not really sure what that means, to jail someone for practicing diversity. I mean, I guess if that's the case, I practice diversity every day. I live in a very diverse community. We have people of all ilks in my neighborhood. I walk the neighborhood all the time. I know a lot of times they look at me like, does this dude have a job? Does he do anything? Because I like to go out, especially when it's warm out, man. I love going outside and going to walk in my neighborhood. I do. Take my dog out, man. Wave and say what's up to the neighbors. And I'm always out different times of the day, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon when it's nice, or sometimes a little later in the evening once the sun starts to go down. But our neighborhood, extremely diverse. Extremely diverse. The people in the chat, extremely diverse. My friends, it's a pretty eclectic group of people. I don't know. I don't even know what practicing diversity means. I really don't. But this situation, man, it all stems from her visit down to an ICE detention center down in Louisiana, where she met with foreign students who were detained after getting caught up in a pro-Palestinian protest on a college campus. I mean, these students, some of them, they came from Columbia, others from the University of Alabama. These people were arrested for their activism, and the Trump administration is moving to deport them, accusing them of supporting Hamas. Presley's calling it a vicious attack on diversity. I just don't get it, man. I don't understand these people, man. I just don't understand these people, man. I really don't. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. But how do you call wanting to get people who are who have been acting a plumb fool for the better part of about 2 years, and you call it an attack on diversity. This lady had the nerve to say that Trump's policies are targeting people based on their identities rather than their actions. But let's just keep it a buck here. Let's just keep it real. These students were detained for breaking the law, not for being diverse. They were detained for breaking the law, not for being diverse. I don't understand, but these people, they sure know how to spin a story, man. They know how to spin a story. They really do. And it's crazy that people fall for it.
This was something that he reiterated over and over again, that this is laying the ground foundationally for every person's rights of free speech, constitutional rights of due process to be violated. And so if people are tempted to marginalize an other who this could happen to, again, in Donald Trump's America, this could be you. This could be you for suffering a miscarriage. This could be you for practicing diversity, equity, and inclusion. This could be you for reading a banned book. Donald Trump and his sycophants in this march toward authoritarianism, what a dictator wants is to silence people, and they want a citizenry that is ignorant, which is why we have to inform them. They want a citizenry that is indifferent. And in that indifference, acquiesces and sees in this overwhelm that this view that they have for this country is an inevitability. So they want a citizenry that is ignorant, uninformed. They want a citizenry that is indifferent to what is happening around them and just sees it as an inevitability. And finally, a citizenry that is inactive. And so that is exactly why this fact-finding mission and the facts that we found out are alarming and damning, and it is acutely about Mahmoud and Rumeysa because those are some of the most high-profile cases. But it has implications for every single person who calls this country home.
All righty. Well, you heard it. You heard it there. Ah, man. I mean, again, these types of talking points, I'd say it's unbelievable, but it's not. It's not. Practicing diversity. Somebody in the chat, can someone explain to me what practicing diversity means? Seriously, what does it mean? I mean, this is the kind of unhinged rhetoric that we've come to expect from people from the squad. They take a straightforward immigration enforcement action and turn it into some, grand conspiracy about Trump jailing people for their identity. I mean, I don't even understand, how they come up with these things. Seriously. I mean, these students, they were not detained for practicing diversity. They were detained because they broke the law during pro-Palestinian protests, and the government says that they're a risk. Shout out to the sister LJ Taylor with the $10 super chat. She says, I am noticing on the left, these ball, oh Lord. Oh my gosh. Give me a second. Oh man. She says, I am noticing that on the left, these bald-headed women with linebacker shoulders have very masculine energy. The men are erratic and the emotion are erratic and emotional and have low testosterone energy. It seems demonic. Oh yeah, it's definitely a spirit in them. Definitely a spirit in these people. You can see it. You can see it. They all have a look. They all got, you can look at their eyes. You can see it. There is definitely a spirit. Seriously. Seriously. You can see it. And all of these people, man, all they do is play the daggone victim card. That's all they do. Play the victim card again to avoid accountability. That's what they do. Like if you're on a visa and breaking the law, you don't get to stay. Simple as that. A visa isn't permanent citizenship. You are a guest. When you're on a visa, you are a guest in our country. No different than when you travel to another country on a visa and you obtain a visa when you go through customs, you are a guest. You're still required to abide by the law. And if you don't, the country has the ability and they have the right, to revoke your visa. Act a fool if you want to. They can revoke your visa and they can get you up out of here. I am glad that the Trump administration is finally enforcing the daggone rules, something that Biden never did while the border crisis spiraled out of control. Presley's out here acting like, these detentions are some attack on values, but what about the value of following the daggone law? What about the values of law and order? Now, that these people, these students, we'll call them students if you want to call them that, but we'll call them students, we'll be nice. They knew the risk when they went down there and protested, and now they're facing the consequences. And I say, welcome to the real world. Y'all heard me say this on this channel a multitude of times. Every day that we wake up, we get a chance and a choice. We get a chance and a choice. You have the ability to do whatever you want to do, but you do not get to choose your consequences for whatever it is that you want to do. You don't. You do not get to choose your consequences. You get to choose whether you want to act or not, but you don't get to choose your consequences. These people are out here, acting the fool. Hey, you got to suffer the consequences. The left loves to scream about diversity, but they're silent when it comes to the diversity of opinions, like the millions of Americans who support tougher immigration policies. And since we're on the topic of immigration policies, picture this for a second, man. A sitting judge sworn to uphold the law quietly lets an illegal Venezuelan migrant live in his guest house. Y'all heard what I said. Y'all heard what I said. A sitting judge sworn to uphold the law is quietly letting an illegal Venezuelan immigrant, live in his guest house, snap selfies with the family's AR-15, and allegedly dates the judge's daughter. Even though the guy flashes tattoos and hand signs tied to Tren de Aragua. The Tren de Aragua, I'm sure you guys are familiar. We've been talking about him for a while, but that's the daggone gang, that the Trump administration labeled a foreign terrorist organization. This dude's out here thugging and bugging with these people, man. This is a sitting judge. Look at this foolishness. Look at this foolishness. This is ridiculous. Yes, this is happening. This is real. This is real. This is what is it with these guys, man? What is it? And hey, why is this always the case? Hold up, let me go back to this picture right here. Why is this? Why? Why does he have Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. What's the point of this right here? Why are you an old dude hanging out with these guys? What's up with that? Seriously, can somebody ask the question? This is crazy. Crazy. But yes, this has actually happened. It happened. Now, the judge resigned. He did resign. He resigned. He's a disgrace. Come on, man. Come on, man. You want to be down that bad? You want to be down that bad And Delinda, yes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That might be worth 1,000,000. Disgraceful, man. Oh yeah, William Walker. He tossed the daughter over. He let the daughter have her. Probably told him, "Hey, marry him so he can stay." Man. I don't get it, man. And you got Democrats out here, they upset in their feelings. I mean, we just keep calling them out for their crazy.
A Venezuelan gang member facing federal charges after he was arrested in Doñana County. Reporter Alyssa Munoz is here with court documents showing this man was living on a judge's property.
Doug, that's right. This is a picture of the pair from court documents. Now, shortly after Lopez's arrest, Judge Joel Cano resigned. And 2 days later, the Judicial Standards Commission petitioned for the Supreme Court to suspend Judge Cano.
A judge is supposed to avoid any appearance of any kind of impropriety. And so you have a situation here where the question is going to be, what did the judge know and when did he know it? How much did he know about the background of the defendant?
In late February, Homeland Security investigations arrested Christian Ortega Lopez for being in the United States illegally since December of 2023 and for possessing a firearm. Originally, officials were going to release him on conditions, but the government appealed that, bringing more evidence against him.
They said, look, Judge, we want you to put him back in custody because we have information that we didn't have the first time around that links him to this TDA gang, violent Venezuelan gang.
According to court documents, Lopez was staying in Las Cruces in a casita behind Judge Cano's house. In his post-Miranda interview, Lopez says he met Cano's wife after doing jobs for her. In the documents, it says she offered him to stay on their property after he was evicted. He adds he was also introduced to Cano's daughter, who, according to officials, allowed him to hold and sometimes shoot her firearms.
He's facing a lot of time in a federal prison, and he's also facing the potential of removal of deportation by the federal government.
In the March 5th petition filed by the Judicial Standard Commission, the alleged Cano allowed 3 known gang members to live on his property and allowed them access to guns. Cano resigned on March 3rd, and his last day was March 21st. Reporting, I'm Alyssa Munoz, KBT Action 7 News.
The judge, his wife, and daughter have not been charged.
Shout out to Amy Horde with the $1.99 super chat. She says, this is nothing but the devil. Yeah, there's a lot of evil going on out there. Who else? I want to say, Kenny G says, wife needed a play toy. Sound like the wife, maybe the daughter too, unfortunately. And that, I mean, come on, man. This dude was okay with his daughter. He was okay with that. All right, TA, take care, brother. Yeesh. I thought I would, again, another story that I would say, hey, unbelievable, but y'all got a chance to see it for yourself. Another story, another situation. I mean, if somebody would have told you 5 years ago that a judge would have an illegal immigrant staying at his house and he'd be okay with his daughter dating the dude, and y'all know what that means when they say dating, easy access, y'all be like, nah, there's no way. There's no way. This wouldn't happen. But there you have it, man. I mean, you literally had a sitting judge harboring an illegal immigrant, and not just any immigrant, but an alleged Tren de Aragua gang member who's posing with guns in his house. You can't make this stuff up, man. I mean, this is next level insanity from the left, man. Joel Cano, he let this guy, Christian Ortega Lopez, live in his guest house after meeting him through odd jobs, knowing full well that he crossed the daggone border illegally back in 2023. And then Cano's daughter, April, is out here handing him firearms, which is a federal crime for an illegal immigrant to even touch. Now, honestly, I think they should, press charges on her behind too. Make an example of these people. You don't get no pass because, you're quote unquote, little sweet little lady. You don't get no pass. You need to learn a lesson too.
Sí, está pesado. Está pesado. Yo no sabía que estaba. What is it? Yeah, it's heavy. Put it on.
Ay, caray, patrón, ¿cómo es que sí?
Now, the judge did resign. He did resign. But man, I don't know about you guys, but it does seem like, somewhat of a, slap in the face to every law-abiding American out there. There's got to be some sort of consequences for harboring an illegal criminal in your home. There has to be. There has to be. I mean, it could be me. Maybe I'm just, a heartless individual, but nah. This is not something that should be happening. Trinidad Aragua, this gang, they've been the focus, of Trump's crackdown pretty much since he got into office, with thousands of members infiltrating the U.S. and causing all kinds of chaos. We talked about this towards the middle of last year or end of last year, where they out there in Aurora, Colorado, they took over a daggone apartment complex out there. We talked about, them moving into cities and towns and cities in Tennessee and taking over the trade there. I mean, they've been causing chaos all across the daggone country. They moved into Chicago, started a gang war out there, trying to take and trying to take territory and things of that nature out there in Chicago. It's ridiculous. And here we have a judge, someone who's supposed to uphold the law, giving one of them a cozy place to live and offering his daughter, maybe his wife. Who knows? There's some people into some freaky stuff these days, man. There are some people into some freaky things these days. You just never know. And the judge resigned, and he should have resigned. But he only resigned after the feds caught wind of this. He only resigned after he got caught. I mean, the left, man, they love to cry about Trump's immigration policies, but cases like this show, exactly why we need them. It shows exactly why we need them. And if judges are out here playing sanctuary city in their own backyards, how can we trust the system to keep us safe? How can we trust the system to keep us safe? This situation matters, and some people will say, "Who cares? He can let anybody stay at his house if he wants to." But it matters because this is more than just one crazy judge. Because what it does is it signals to the cartels that, hey, if a U.S. magistrate is willing to shelter you, how serious is America about enforcement? There's also the issue of the two-tier justice system. You got J6 grandma. Takes a selfie in the Capitol, get years and years in jail. Foreign gang members take selfies with rifles. Democrats elites offer a spare bedroom. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, in my opinion, this is what should happen next. They should charge the judge and his wife. And if there's any footage, photos, or anything of his daughter handing this dude a weapon, they need to charge her behind as well. They need to charge him with harboring an illegal alien, providing firearms to prohibited persons. These are both federal crimes. Automatic deportation. We need to make an example. We need to make an example out of these people. No robe, no one is above the daggone law. Fast track Ortega's prosecution and get his ass up out of here. Excuse my language. He's got to go. And then this right here, in my opinion, I hope it would show American families that trafficking ties carry consequences. Maybe we should also look at auditing every public official's household. Kind of like what Kamala wanted to do. Anybody that had a gun, let me come into your house and see if you got your gun stored properly. If you hold an office and you're hosting undocumented migrants, you got to disclose it or face suspension. Transparency is not xenophobia, it's basic security. Democrats love chanting, no one is illegal until the headline features a machete or a fentanyl ad. And then they'll pivot to due process crisis, and pray that the electorate forgets. But I'm sorry, man. Voters are not forgetting. They're watching judges resign, mayors beg for migrant money, and congressmen hop international flights to hug accused traffickers instead of comforting angel moms back in here at the crib. You want compassion? Protect the citizens who follow the rules. Deport the predators who don't. Protect the citizens who follow the rules. Deport the predators who don't. We should be investigating officials who enable these folks. Full stop, 100%. But this judge, his family, they need examples to be made of them. Simple as that. They need examples made of them. That's all I have for you guys today, man. I appreciate you all pulling up this morning. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Speaker Yahweh, man, appreciate you pulling up this morning as well, man. Y'all cut Speaker Yahweh some slack, man. He cool. He good. You know, he good. Y'all cut him some slack, man. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Definitely appreciate you all pulling up this morning. But I gotta get up out of here. I gotta get up out of here. But God bless you guys, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Like I said, I got an appointment I gotta run to. So tomorrow will be a good show. The plan is a little bit of me and a lot of bit of the panel. We got a good panel that will pull up today or pull up tomorrow, more or less. We're gonna have a really good conversation. I'm looking forward to that. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel this morning. Those that contributed and that supports the channel. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the Blues. Y'all make sure y'all show EDA some love, man. New Blue in the building. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys keeping things civil in the chat. God bless each and every one of you guys, man. Make today a great day. Make today better than yesterday. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. Good day tomorrow, man. And we're going to have a really, really good show tomorrow, man. You guys take care, man.
Vibes so